Welcome back to UCLA Radio Sports Broadcasting. This is Shane Donovan, and I'm joined here by Grant Walters, and we're going to bring you guys today's national championship game where Hawaii will be taking on UCI. Grant, we saw some fun volleyball played here on Saturday. Both of these teams came out victorious. What are you going to see from both of these teams today?
I think first and foremost is these teams' blocking units are just going to simply go at it today. For Hawaii, Justin Todd had 10 blocks in the Rainbow Warriors 3-1 victory against Long Beach State. And on the other side, Clark for UCI also had 6 blocks in their win against Ball State this Saturday as well. So I expect the middle blocking units to really stamp their impact on this game, and they're gonna really be the heartbeat for both of these teams in this one. Whoever wins the middle blocking battle will emerge victorious between these two Big West powerhouses.
Well, Hawaii's gonna be starting with the ball here today. Here comes the first serve. It's passed over, and the first ball will go out of bounds. UCI takes the first point.
Yeah, Tread Rosenthal just let that one sail a bit too far over the right sideline. Not the way that you want to get things started if you're the Rainbow Warriors. UCI with the serve coming up.
Here's Cameron Costi, the redshirt freshman. Here comes his jumper, sends this one over, passed well. To set the quick one, and it's blocked by UCI. The libero dives for it, but unable to get it. UCI stuffs the point and picks up point number 2.
And just as I mentioned at the start of this broadcast, Trevor Clark
by the libero, and bang! Clark sends it straight down! Trevor Clark sends that free pass straight onto the ground and picks up the 3rd point for UCI.
And Rosenthal just bumped that one right over to Clark, who spiked it home for UCI. 3-0 run to start the game.
Here's Costi now. Handled well. They'll set the 5, does Hawaii, and blocked again! UCI says no!
Andrej Draganovic able to get the block on that play, fortifying the left side for UCI. Gets the 4th straight point.
Here's Costi. Sends this one over as well. They'll quick to send the 4, and they'll layer it over. Hawaii picks up the point. Number 10. Christian Chatrisky.
Christian Chatrisky stemming the tide a bit with the attack on the left side. Goes cross court and puts Hawaii on the board.
Here comes Adrian Rohr now with the crowd involved. Sends the jumper over. Handled well. They'll set the 4. It's straight down! William Darcy, the 6'10" man out of Australia.
Darcy in his last outing against Hawaii, he led the Anteaters with 13 kills, getting active early on the left side for UCI.
Here comes the serve, handled well. They'll set the back row 4, and they'll pick it up. Adrian Rohr from the back row picks up the point for Hawaii.
Adrian Rohr moving up from the backcourt spot, levitates right near the logo and hammers it right past UCI's back row. Attack getting active early for Hawaii. They will need to go back to it if they're going to come back in this set.
Here's Justin Todd now for Hawaii. Sends that one across, handled well. They'll set the 2 for Clark, and it'll land in. Clark gets up and climbs the ladder to make the score 6-2 UCI.
And Clark has already been making his presence known. 2 kills off 2 attacks and a block to go along with it. He scored 3 of the 6 UCI points.
Here's Clark's floater. It goes across. They'll set the 5. Does Hawaii, and blocked! It's blocked! Number 7, Micah Goss paired with Andreas Brink. Send that one straight back on the Hawaii side.
And great approach from Goss and Brink to roof that ball on the Hawaii side to get the point.
Here's Clark, sends the floater over. Hawaii will set the 4. It's handled well by UCI. They'll just pass that one back over. Reset for Hawaii, who sets the 2, and down goes that one! Travell Jordan, the 6'10" man from GCU.
And Jordan just able to get up there, leads the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors squad in hitting percentage with a 5'10" mark on the season from that middle blocking spot.
This one sent over by a jumper. They'll set the 4. Picked up by the libero, diving for it is Roar, but unable to get it. UCI picks up their 8th point of the match to make it 8-3.
And Greenwich just couldn't corral the attack. Goes way past the back line. Roar sprinting out to get it, almost dove into the camera section at Poly Pavilion as UCI taking firm control of this set.
Here's Darcy, sends the jumper over. Bad pass to set it off. Hawaii forced to go up for it and joust! And there he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Louis Sakanoko puts it down for Hawaii.
Sakanoko, the smart play. Block didn't get established for UCI. Only Goss jumped up to contest it. Excellent play from Greenidge to loft it right to Sakanoko, and he hammers it home.
Here's Sakanoko. Send that one across. They'll set the 4, and it's blocked, but goes down onto Hawaii's side. Micah Goss picks up the point.
Goss challenging the block directly, angles it downward, and the Hawaii blockers just simply couldn't get a hold and put it on UCI's side of the net. Great play from Brink.
Here's Brink with the floater, handled well with their hands. They'll set the 5. Hawaii blocked again, but do they get it up? No, they don't. UCI with another block.
Zhiganovic, yet another block, his second of the contest, and UCI has simply punched this Hawaii offense straight in the mouth. Hawaii so far in this set, a negative .500 hitting percentage. They haven't even notched a kill yet, or they notched 1 kill earlier, but credit to UCI's block, Clark and Oganovic specifically, who have just done an excellent job stifling these prolific Hawaii hitters.
Yeah, the 10-4 start forces Hawaii to take a timeout here early in the first set. But like you said, these blocks that UCI has been putting up have been astronomical for them. If you were UCI, you had to start off fast in this game. That's exactly what they've done. The key to the game is going to force Hawaii out of system to get these blocks up, force these windows to be tight for them to hit through. And they've done a terrific job of doing that.
Credit to the service pressure, too, from the Anteaters. Couple plays there where, as you said, Shane, they did force the Rainbow Warriors out of system, and that has really been the foundation for their prolific block to get set and, again, just limit this Hawaii offense. Hawaii, one of the best hitting teams in the country this season. Number 1 in kills per set with 13.54 on the season. They also ranked number 4 in hitting percentage in the nation with a 366 clip. UCI has not backed down from this very strong hitting team. And as you said, Shane, that was the recipe for success for UCI coming out. They really needed to get off to a hot start in order to stand a chance against Hawaii, and they've done just that. Credit to David Niffen for getting his team ready on such short notice, played just last Saturday, but they have certainly come to play and have challenged the Rainbow Warriors.
And now UCI up 10-4 with Andreas Brink back at the line. Here comes his jumper. He sends the floater over. Handled well. Hawaii sets the 4. It gets touched, sent straight into the air. They'll set the 4 as well. Does UCI off of a touch, off of the block, tool time! UCI picks up another point, 4-11 now.
And the offensive charge there really led by Andreas Brink, able to get a hand on the attack from Hawaii. Ball ended up going straight to Zhiganovic, who made the most of it. Hawaii blocker touched it, but didn't get a good handle of the ball as it drifted past the back line. No Hawaii player able to dive out and save it, so UCI gets the point. Zhiganovic already with 2 kills on the day so far. He has been getting active early.
Here's Brink now with his floater. Handled with their hands. They'll set the 4 outside. Bang! Adrian Rohr tools it off of the block and picks up the point.
And Adrian Rohr, fearless. Only one UCI blocker. That was Cameron Costi. UCI didn't get in the correct position at the net, which allowed Rohr to take full advantage.
Here's Jordan. Sends that one floater cross. Now set and blocked by Hawaii. It's kept alive. Free balled over by UCI. Hawaii controls this one, sets the quick shoot, and it's blocked! It's blocked by Micah Goss, the middle blocker.
Micah Goss just simply went up and challenged it. Tread Rosenthal may have rushed the set a little bit, trying to get UCI off kiltered. Hit a little bit of a bullet pass straight to one of the Hawaii hitters, and that was just not at the right time because Goss read it perfectly, jumped up in the air, and timed that block to perfection.
Here's Goss now, sends the jumper over. Handled well. They'll set the back row big, and it'll go straight into the net. Sakanoko unable to get that one up. Score now 13-5, UCI.
And even if Sakanoko did get enough on that ball, two UCI blockers were there on the net to block it. Likely would have been a UCI point anyway. And the Anteaters now have drawn an 8-point lead, holding Hawaii to just 5 points. They are looking poised to take this championship.
Here's Goss now. Sakanoko with the overpass. UCI controls this one, sets the 4. It's set straight up in the air by Hawaii. They're diving for it in the media. And Sakanoko unable to get it. UCI picks up their 14th point of the match to make it 14-5.
Sakanoko jumping on the scorer's table to attempt to save the ball. Another Hawaii timeout is called. Charlie Wade already having to waste 2 so far in this set, as it's been all Anteaters thus far. Even after the first timeout that Charlie Wade took, UCI has just simply carried that momentum, dominating the Rainbow Warriors. And this has been quite the surprise, especially as Hawaii heavy favorites heading into the championship match, number 2 seed in the overall tournament, whereas UCI, unseeded, had to gut a win out in the first round against Penn State, then ended up beating UCLA in 5 sets, and again had to beat another team in Ball State. So they played 3 matches in this tournament, all of which have been tightly contested, but UCI, again, showing why they belong on this national stage, and only 11 points more needed to seal out set 1 in what could be a decisive victory for the Anteaters. And Shane, what do you think has really separated this UCI team from Hawaii so far in the first set?
UCI is playing like they have nothing to lose. They're staying disciplined in the little things, getting up those double blocks, getting their hands in the right area, and just simply playing smart volleyball, not forcing anything and allowing Hawaii to make the mistakes. Hawaii has just continued to pile on these mistakes, which has led to the score being 14-5 now, as Micah Goss heads back to the line for UCI.
And again, great service pressure from this UCI squad. Micah Goss really contributing to the serving department. He's been excellent at getting the reception from Hawaii off kiltered. They've been all out of sorts on the defensive end today. Very atypical for this strong defensive squad.
Here now comes Micah Goss with his jumper. Sends that one across, and they're saying Hawaii's out of rotation. An uncharacteristic penalty here at the collegiate level. You never have anybody out of rotation here in college volleyball. This is some simple stuff that Hawaii is just making these mistakes. Cannot happen now. The score 15-5.
Especially out of a timeout, you cannot have that. Hawaii, one of the premier men's volleyball programs, and they, again, it just looked all out of sorts. Inexplicable rotation error to open out of the timeout.
Here's Goss, sends this one across. Overpass again by Sakanoko, and they won't touch it. It'll be out of bounds. 16-5, UCI.
And Jurganovic just simply let that ball go. Great heads-up play from the freshman. Very veteran move from the first-year player to let that ball stray out of the left sideline. And Goss will head back to the line. He has been on a serving heater so far.
Here's Goss now, sends this one across. This one's handled by Sakanoko well. Set the 5, and power! Straight power by Christian Tetrisky. Hitting the 5 and sending UCI back down.
And Chatrisky set that right at William Darcy. Didn't even stand a chance to receive that ball. Put his hands up, but had no time to corral the hit from the powerful outside hitter.
Here's Rosenthal now with the jumper. Sends this one across. A bad pass by UCI on the serve receive. Gives Hawaii the point. 7-16 now. Hawaii starting to claw back.
And Trent Rosenthal gets his 39th service ace of the season. All-around player for the Rainbow Warriors. He just continues to be excellent at the service line. Can they rack up a little run here off the hand of Rosenthal?
Here's Rosenthal, and he'll send that one straight into the net. Point UCI now 17-7.
Rosenthal maybe got a little bit too cocky with his serving prowess, just sent that one straight into the net. UCI takes service control.
Here's Costi now. Jumper handled well by Hawaii. They'll set the 4. It's blocked by UCI. Hawaii gets the possession back. They'll set the 5 this time and get the touch. Adrian roars for this crowd and picks up the point.
Great play from Roar, establishing that right side of the net, sends it cross court. That has really been a recipe for success for Hawaii in this game, sending those cross court passes.
Here's Roar now, and he'll send that one straight into the net. Point UCI. These mistakes are piling up for Hawaii.
Every single time Hawaii has a glimpse of hope to cut back into this lead, what we've seen in the past two services from the Rainbow Warriors, they've had those service blunders from Roar and Rosenthal respectively, haven't been able to get any sort of momentum out of those plays. It looks like we are going to take a quick break. Rosenthal heading to the bench. Odd sighting is Rosenthal typically plays every minute of these games for the Rainbow Warriors as he's getting checked out for potentially a cut or a pulled muscle of some sorts. He is off at the bench getting some treatment from the Hawaii training staff. The UCI 10-point lead really controlled the pace of this entire first stanza. Impressive outing thus far for the Anteaters. And Shane, I guess I can speak for both of us here. I'm really surprised with how this game has gone thus far. Hawaii played great against Long Beach State in the semifinal game and looked like they were poised to get off to a hot start against the Anteaters, but the Anteaters have just simply, like you said, played more free and have played hungrier as well in this contest, which is a bit odd because there's so many Hawaii fans. It's almost like a Hawaii home crowd in this stadium. So been really surprised with how Hawaii has fared so far today.
Yeah, Hawaii, too many mistakes that have really cost them up to this point, which is why the score is 18-8 right now. UCI's come in and just played clean volleyball, done what they needed to do, and the momentum is fully on their side. But after this long timeout now, Hawaii may be looking to flip the script here as number 9, Andre Djukanovic is back for UCI. The 6'7" man out of France. Here comes his jumper. Sends this one straight into the net. And Hawaii rallies right here. Only down by 9. Well, I say only. 9's a lot in volleyball, but.
Yeah. Could this be the slimmer of hope, though, that this Hawaii team needs to get back into this set? As Kearney will now head to the line.
Here's Kearney with his jumper. Sends that one straight into the net. Another service error for Hawaii.
Both teams just trading service errors right now. Haven't seen much consistency from the service squads in the recent points, as 4 of the last 5 have been service errors. Neither team can really gather a rally.
Here's Clark now with the floater cross court. An overpass tight. And Hawaii, unable to get to it, forces that one out of bounds. Score now 20 UCI, 9 Hawaii.
And yet another mistake from the Rainbow Warriors, who already had 4 service errors as well, have only notched 2 digs to go along with it.
Here's
Receptions
Clark
really marred them.
with the floater. They'll set the 5, bounce that one straight over. Hawaii picks up the point. Christian Chatrisky gets the point to now make it down by 10.
Tetrisky diagnosed the left block perfectly, saw them jump up early on the attempt to swat it away, simply just lofted it over the block for the point.
Here's Tetrisky with his jumper, and that one will go in. Hawaii slides one in the backcourt with the ace.
Tetrisky, excellent eyesight to fit it in the right corner of the UCI defense, unchallenged.
Here's Tetrisky. We'll float this one over. UCI sets the 4. It's blocked. Picked up by the libero. Hawaii sets the 2. And down goes that one! Travell Jordan, the 6'10" middle blocker, makes it an 8-point game.
Jordan getting up there and just simply timed it up perfectly. It looks like Sakanoko, hand is a bit shaken up. He is grabbing his hand near the Hawaii training staff. Unclear exactly what happened on the last play, as another Hawaii medical timeout will seemingly be called. Sakanoko may have to go out of this game. That would be a huge loss for this Hawaii Rainbow Warrior squad. Last game, he had a team high 6 service errors. Haven't seen him play much from the line in this contest, but he also added 12 kills to really help spur the Hawaii attack in its win against Long Beach State Saturday.
Sakanoko now has both of his wrists taped up right now. Looks like he's going to be pushing through this, as now Christian Tetrisky will head back to the line. The score now 20-12. UCI up by 8. Hawaii looking to claw back into this one, taking it one singular point at a time. That's the nice thing about volleyball, is that you're never truly out of it. As Tetrisky here with his jumper sends this one across, handled well by UCI. They'll set the 5. It is blocked by Sakanoko. That wrist is feeling okay.
Sakanoko goes up and challenges William Darcy. Solo block for the outside hitter. Fearless on the attempt, and he just simply roofed that ball home. Hawaii draws 1 point closer off the back of Tetrisky as well, who has really spurred this rally. 4 straight points for the Rainbow Warriors. It's been him on the line really dictating the pace. How important is that for Hawaii moving forward?
Yeah, Hawaii needs to start getting these blocks up. They haven't been challenging UCI one bit. But like I said, they're taking it one singular point at a time. For Sakanoko to get that solo block right there, giving all of the momentum now to Hawaii. Hawaii forces UCI to take a timeout. They're starting to claw back into this one. Like I said, they are still down by 7. The score 20-13, but this is exactly what you need out of your team, to show some fight. Even if you don't win this set, to be able to show that you guys are going to give that fight in that next one and the next one and the next one, because this could be a long game. It could be over in 3, most likely not. So both of these teams know that this is a long game. They're both trying to stay mentally locked in, cannot let these mistakes get to you. And the team that's able to play clean will win this game.
Yeah, and again, the beauty of volleyball is 5 potential sets, 4 more after this one if, it goes that far. But you really do, just like you were saying, you have to take it point by point. You also have to take it set by set. And if Hawaii can, even if they lose, like you said, Shane, in this set, they can go into the next one with some momentum and potentially end up taking it. That would be huge for Charlie Wade and his team. Already shown a great number of resiliency this season. Can they do it yet again with all the marbles on the line at the national championship?
Here comes Tetrisky, sends that one. It'll go slightly out. The ball faded right.
Tetrisky nearly pinpointed that one right down the right sideline, but just unable to get it down. Drifted slightly outward. UCI gets the point.
Here's Darcy with the jumper float. It's picked up well by Hawaii. It's tight. Tried to dump it, and Goss says no. Goss rejects the dump and picks up the point.
Rosenthal attempted to go to his typical deceptive moves at the net using that 6'11" frame, but Micah Goss wasn't having any of it. Goes up with it and just hammers it down.
Here's Darcy, a hard jumper. Will force Hawaii with a bad pass. They'll set the back row 5. Free ball pretty much for Hawaii. who gets the ball back off of a bad pass from UCI. Hawaii picks up the ball yet again, runs a play, and gets the 2! Travell Jordan spikes that one down for Hawaii.
Travell Jordan getting the first touch, pass it right over to Tread Rosenthal, who says, give me that ball back, and he hammers it down with authority. UCI up 22-14 with Sakanoko heading to the service line.
Here's Sakanoko with his signature jumper. Handles that one well. A tight pass dumped off by UCI. And Rosenthal will dive into the media to try and pick that one up. UCI picks up the point.
And Costi, very heads-up play, got the block out of position, thought that second touch was going toward the left side of the net for one of the UCI outside hitters, but
here's Brink now with the floater. They'll set the 4, does Hawaii, gets a touch. It's a tight pass, they'll set the 5. Blocked, but on Hawaii's side. UCI picks up the point to make the score 24-14, game point coming up.
Jokanovic with his 3rd kill of the night, unafraid of that Hawaii block on the left side, and he just sent it right down.
Here's Brink now with his floater. Take with the hands by Sakanoko, a bad pass. Forced, they'll set the 4. Keep this one alive, push it in the back corner. Does Adrian roar to make Hawaii still alive in this one?
Still set point coming up. UCI 24-15 despite the roar kill.
The score now 15-24. Hawaii looking to stay alive. Kanoa Wade back for the Rainbow Warriors. Here comes his jumper. Sends this one, handled well. Tight pass. Sets the 4. Rejected straight right back and out of bounds. UCI takes set number 1.
What a set win for UCI. Hawaii simply just did not stand a chance throughout that entire first set. UCI got out to that 4-0 run to open the frame, and it was just smooth sailing from there for the Anteaters, who right out the gate shocked the Rainbow Warriors to take the 10-point set victory in set 1. Jokanovic getting active early on the outside, 667 hitting percentage with 4 kills to go along with it, tying a game high with Hawaii's Adrian Roar. And Jokanovic, he had a game high 22 kills on 51 total attacks in Hawaii and UCI's first game of the 2026 campaign, which ended in a 5-set victory in favor of Hawaii. But Jokanovic has certainly risen to the occasion for his Anteater squad, and he is paving the way on the offensive end.
Yeah, like you said, these two teams are very familiar with each other, and we're starting to see that here. UCI playing clean in that first set, not making too many mistakes and allowing Hawaii to beat themselves in that first set. If you're Hawaii right now, you have to mentally reset. These are what these coaches are telling them right now. Simply side out, get the point, and don't make these mistakes. The fact that they had an out-of-rotation call for Hawaii is so uncharacteristic, especially for any college program. To be out of system, that's some high school or middle school stuff right there. Hawaii just playing sloppy in that first one. We saw a couple injuries from Hawaii with Tread Rosenthal and Sakanoko both dealing with a wrist, and Rosenthal with something with his knee, but both of them seem to be doing okay as of right now, but something to keep an eye on as this game continues on. But Grant, what are going to be the keys to success for both of these teams heading into set number 2?
I think for Hawaii, it has to be the blocking. They have to find some way to limit this UCI attacking unit. Inexcusable that the Anteaters are hitting 562 so far in this contest. Off 16 attack attempts, they've gotten 10 kills on those. They really need to lock it down. That's what allowed them to beat Long Beach State, was Justin Todd and his chemistry with guys like Tread Rosenthal and Louis Sakanoko, Adrian Roar, to name a few guys on that block. They really need to find that groove and limit Jokanovic, along with Andreas Brink and William Darcy, who have simply just had their way against this Hawaii defense. Very uncharacteristic for the Rainbow Warriors to be getting out-hit in a game as they, again, boast one of the highest hitting clips in the country, but they're just hitting at a 167 clip. I mean, UCI in all facets of the game, just outplaying Hawaii. But it really starts on the block for this Rainbow Warriors squad. If they go back to their bread and butter and get some early blocks in this second set, then they are just fine and can settle in and still win this contest. But look out for Justin Todd in this next set. He needs to find his groove at the net.
Yeah, Hawaii needs to find those matchups with Clark there in the middle holding it down for UCI. Setting the middle has never been too much of a direction for Hawaii to take. They've been setting the pins pretty well, trying to get those solo matchups on the outside, so look for Hawaii to continue to attack that. Heading here into set 2 as now Micah Goss, the 6'6" sophomore out of Santa Barbara, will head back for UCI to start set number 2.
And also between these two teams, UCI out blocking Hawaii 7-1 in the first set. You touched upon Clark. He has really outplayed Justin Todd. Expect that matchup to continue and for them to battle in the second set.
Here comes Goss with the hard jumper. Handled well by Hawaii, who will set the back row 5 and finds the seam. Christian Tetrisky puts the first points on the board for Hawaii in set number 2.
Great way to start, going to the valuable, steady hand of Tetrisky. Hawaii gets on the board first and sets the tone for the second set.
Here come Rosenthal with his jumper. Handled well by UCI. They'll set the 4, tips it over. Out of system now. They'll set the 5. Does Hawaii gets a touch? Is there a touch? Is it in? What's the call on the court? They're calling no touch. Point UCI. Some miscommunication there between the refs trying to figure out what that point was, and they now are calling. They're going to be checking it, actually. It's a challenge.
Players went immediately to that Hawaii sideline, pleading with Charlie Wade to go ahead and challenge it. So they will head to the video board to check to see if there was a touch. Definitely looked pretty close from this angle. Not exactly sure what happened, but the ball did go out of bounds off the attack attempt. And they are going to call it a touch. So Hawaii ball, very, very quick challenge. Conclusive evidence immediately. So Hawaii out to a 2-0 lead. This is a perfect way to start the second set for the Rainbow Warriors.
Yeah, like you said, 2-0 lead. That'll send Rosenthal back to the line now. This is the exact start that Hawaii needed here in set number 2 as he sends up his signature jumper. Handled okay. They'll set the 4, blocked by Hawaii, and they'll send it right back to UCI. Picked up. Hawaii sets the 4. Picked up by UCI, who will set the long ball for the 4. Blocked again by Hawaii. UCI staying alive, sets the 4 yet again. Blocked again by Hawaii. They'll set the 4 again, and not able to get the block up. It gets the point, UCI. What a rally.
Third time's the charm for Jokanovic. Got stuffed 2 times in a row by those 3 Hawaii middle blockers on the left side, but he remained confident and hammered it home.
Here's Costi now. Sakanoko sends a bad pass, but stayed alive. Hawaii sets the 4, and they're going to call a touch. Point Hawaii. Ball sails out of bounds, but called a touch on the block. Point now Hawaii 3-1 the score.
And UCI's blocking has really faltered early in this set. 2 touches for that rendered into 2 Hawaii points. They need to lock that area of the court down.
Here comes Roar. Overpass by UCI, sent straight back down by Sakanoko. The score now 4-1 Hawaii.
Sakanoko, that ball just simply fell right into his lap on the left or right side, and he just levitated and sends it downward. No chance for UCI to get a dig.
Here's Roar. A bad pass. Set the 5, and it will go down. William Darcy able to pick up the point for UCI.
Darcy makes the most of the errant first touch. Credit to Cameron Costi, who back set Darcy on the left side.
Jokanovic sends a jumper over. They'll set the 5. Hawaii tips it in. Kept up by the libero. All options on the table, sets the 4! Andreas Brink picks up the point for UCI. The score now 4-3. Hawaii up by 1.
Looked as if Clark faked the hit to keep the Hawaii block on its toes, but Andreas Brink on the far left side just took full advantage.
Here's Jovanovic, sends this one across. Handled well, they'll set the 4. Do they get a touch? Out. Sakanoko sends that one soaring.
And Sakanoko just rushed his approach a bit on it. He got up in the air with plenty of time to spare and just airmailed that well past the back line and out of bounds. Wasted opportunity for Hawaii to get another kill.
Here's Jokanovic, the score now 4-4. Sends a hard jumper. Sends the setter back, sets the 4, down by Sakanoko, and he picks up the point. The score now 5-4, Hawaii.
Sakanoko gets some redemption on the very next play. Andrej Jokanovic just didn't really have a chance to get a good first touch on the hammered kill from Sakanoko. Drifts way out of bounds off the right or left hand of Jokanovic.
Here comes Justin Todd for Hawaii. Sends a jumper up, and they're calling it in! An ace for Justin Todd!
Justin Todd put that right on the edge of the back line and in for the Rainbow Warriors, who notch their first service ace of the day with the Todd service ace.
Here comes Todd with his jumper again. This one picked up. They'll set the 2, and Clark sends that one in the back corner, picking up the point. The score now 6-5. UCI down by 1.
And Clark, he didn't put a lot of mustard on the ball. Saw that there was an open space in the back row and simply just tapped it there with enough velocity for it to go down. UCI gets the point.
Here's Clark's floater, sends this one cross court. A bad first pass by the hand, sets the 5, and in! Christian Tatrisky sends that one down.
Looks like they're going to challenge that to see if it landed out of bounds. So we will go back to the video board. Hawaii up 7-5 for the time being, but could change to 6-6 depending on the call. We already saw a call reversed in this game, in this set thus far. But Hawaii, they look like a much different team out there in this set. Attack has been much better and more efficient. Have seen that hitting percentage jump to 273. Yet to record a block in it too, but
the point will stand there. Hawaii picks up the point. The score is now 7-5 Hawaii. Just like you said, just have completely come out hot in this one. Allowed UCI to climb back, but now Tatrisky back for Hawaii, looking to extend this lead. The score is 7-5.
And Tatrisky's been their best service option in this game.
Here it comes. His serve forces it over, pass handled well. Down! Down goes Hawaii! Hawaii! The pass by Sakanoko sets it up for Tread Rosenthal, the setter, to take it himself to make the score 8-5.
He does not look like a setter out there. That was with some authority from the facilitator.
Here's Tatrisky. Sends this one across. They'll set the back row pipe, and it's rejected! A pair of Hawaiian Rainbow Warriors send that one straight back down. And Hawaii extends the lead, 9-5 now the score.
So off the back of Tatrisky again from the service line, who's just been putting pressure on that back row. UCI unable to diagnose these serves, which has really led to this run.
Here's Tatrisky, another overpass. Hawaii with a free play here, sets the back row. It's blocked by UCI, kept up. Free ball over, sent straight down by Rosenthal! Taking it himself! The score now 10-5.
Rosenthal, he's a grown man on the court. Tatrisky from the back line, Rosenthal from the net. They have combined to spur this Hawaii run as they take a commanding 5-point lead in the second set. And Hawaii, they look like the team that they've been branded to be in this past set. Just finding that offensive groove yet again. UCI looking a bit shell-shocked out on the court. regain some composure. And again, just been Hawaii challenging the block. Hitting percentage now at .306 for the Rainbow Warriors. UCI's block has not had as much success because the Rainbow Warriors have been able to get into system, setting up the offense, taking their time, relying on their first-team All-Americans in Rosenthal and Sakanoko to spearhead the offensive charge, and they have made the most of it.
Yeah, UCI down by 5 here now. The score 10-5 here in the second set. UCI took the first one, but Hawaii has proven why they're on this stage. Fighting back in this one, controlling it. Like you said, the service pressure from Tetrisky really keeping UCI on their toes has led to a couple of overpasses and allowing Hawaii to really just settle back down into this matchup. The nerves coming into the national championship, regardless of your experience, will always hit you. And Hawaii's now feeling like they're finally starting to settle in here into this one.
And these first touches from UCI in the back row has really been what has allowed Hawaii's offense to get going. Like you said, Shane, those overpasses, Hawaii setting it up with those 3 touches and have even gone to just 2 a couple times if Rosenthal has seen a route to kill it home. But regardless, they're going to need to lock in on the back row with Tetritsky still at the service line. They're going to want to claw back into this set.
It's just one side out. Let your libero take the seams here. You can see that Andrej Jakanovic right now discussing who's got seams with his teammates. As now Tetrisky's back at the line yet again. The score now 10-5. Here comes his jumper. Sends this one across. And they're calling it in! Another ace for Tetrisky!
Tetrisky, what a beautiful cross-court serve. UCI thought it was drifting out of bounds, but Tetrisky spotted it right up near the right sideline.
Tetrisky with the lethal jumper sends that one straight into the net. UCI sides out.
Little bit of mercy for this UCI team. Tetrisky leading that 5-0 run, but maybe got a bit too complacent with his next serve. He sent that one straight into the net. Now UCI control of the service line. William Darcy will head back to the back row or past it. And some discussion going on. Tetrisky looked like he ripped his jersey on that last play. Some discussion over there and maybe potentially an anger after that last service error.
Here comes Darcy. Sends his floater over, forces an overpass. UCI gets the possession, sets the 4. This one sails out. Andreas Brink unable to get that one down.
And Andreas Brink again just rushed the spike slightly and sailed it on a cross-court attempt well past the right sideline.
The score now 12-6. Hawaii with Sakanoko back at the line. Sends this jumper straight out by like 10, 15 feet. Not even close.
That was going all the way to Glendale with the way that was at. Sorry, I don't know California geography that well, but I'm assuming that is east. Never mind.
Here comes 12-7. The serve is over. Hawaii gets the possession here. Sets the back row pipe. Received well by UCI. They'll set the long 4 ball. Tipped up. Setter out. Sets the 4. It blocked! Ross says no. UCI picks up the point.
Goss going up with it, had a pair or blocking tandem with him to assist him on the block, but Goss has simply been prolific at the net, notches his 5th block of the contest with the last one.
Here's UCI with the floater, sends this one across. Hawaii, all their options, sets the back row 5, gets it to land on their side. Touch, point Hawaii, the score now 13-8.
Again, that is Tetritsky. Didn't back down from Ganovic on the opposite side of the net, who was rising up to potentially block it, but Tetritsky just went right at the freshman and hammered it home.
Here's Jordan with the floater, tight pass, handled well. Goss sends this one, but Sakanoko gets it up. They'll set the 4 to Roar. Off of a touch, point Hawaii. Roar sends this one down to make the score 14-8.
And Sakanoko just got enough on the reception able to allow Hawaii to get in system. Rohr had a great opportunity on the left side to spike it down, and he does just that. Hawaii goes up 6 in the second set. They've come out looking like a different team in the second stanza compared to that first frame.
William Darcy getting checked out right here. Something to do, maybe possibly just getting some tape on the fingers. When you're up at the line there, fingers can get jammed, so sometimes you need to throw some tape on there, and that's exactly what he did. But here we are, the score now 14-8. Hawaii starting to take this one as Travell Jordan sends this floater across, handled well by UCI. Perfect pass, sets the 4, blocked! It's blocked! Tristan Todd and Tread Rosenthal send that one straight down!
And that is the chemistry that we saw against Long Beach State. Todd and Rosenthal fortifying the block at the net. It's the first time they've really been successful today, and they do just that.
Here's Jordan with the floater, sends it across, the back set to the 5, up by Sakanoko, but not enough. UCI gets the point.
And Darcy with a prolific kill. The reception attempt strays well into the Poly Pavilion crowd. Didn't have a chance to put that one up for a Hawaii in-system attempt. But now Goss, 3 clapping it up, head back row line.
Here's the score, 15-9. Handled well by Hawaii. Sends a pipe. Handled well by Rosenthal, who tries to get it on it, but it's blocked. Blocked by Clark. The 2-timer block on the same play.
And Clark left a little bit on an island, was the only one that levitated to attempt to block the Rosenthal attack attempt, but Clark gets his number on the play, and UCI draws 1 point closer, now down just 5.
Here comes Goss. Sends a jumper over. It's a hard one. Straight into the net goes the pass. UCI picks up the point.
The Santa Barbara local put a ton of gas on the service attempt, and that is going to prompt a Hawaii timeout. Charlie Wade saw what happened in the first set, didn't want things to get too out of hand in the second. Wisely calls a timeout after the service ace, and UCI 3-0 run heading into the timeout. They're going to need to keep this up. What do you think has really been the secret to UCI's recent run as they draw back closer into this set, Shane?
Well, UCI, like I said, what they did well in the first set was that they were playing clean. They weren't trying to do too much. They weren't trying to be cute, and that's exactly what they're doing here. Allow Hawaii to make the mistakes. Hawaii, Rosenthal trying to take it himself, trying to control this game, has cost Hawaii on a couple of points here. Hawaii shooting themselves in the foot, as they would say. But they're still up 15-11 here. Hawaii has shown that they're able to really control this game on their side if they're able to do so through their serving. But simply what their coaches are telling them right now is just to simply get a side out right here and to get the momentum back.
Yeah, definitely important for UCI to continue to play smart. And again, it's all about the block for this UCI team. They've racked up 9 total blocks compared to Hawaii's 3 in this game so far. And the Anteaters just simply need to keep going back to Clark, who has been a force at the net for this UCI team. And assisting him has been Jokanovic and William Darcy, along with Andreas Brinken multiple times at the net. They're going to really need to lock that part of the court down if they're going to thwart this high-powered Hawaii offense. But they've done a nice job to hit them in, even in this second set, still holding them to a .262 hitting percentage, which is well below Hawaii's season average. Credit to the net play from UCI in this game.
Here comes Micah Goss's serve, the jumper, and it'll sail out. Good eye by Hawaii to not touch that one.
And very smart timeout from Charlie Wade, able to ice Goss on the service attempt, and he airmailed that one well past the back line. Hawaii now up 16-11.
Here's Rosenthal, sends the jumper across. Perfect pass by UCI, sets the back row 5, rejected. UCI gets the one back. Sends a 4 over, lofts it. Sakanoko able to get this one, has to go over. Adrian Rohr sends that one into the back corner, picking up the point.
And Sakanoko, credit him with an excellent second touch. Sakanoko bumps that one cross court straight to Adrian Rohr on the left side of the net. And Rohr able to find the open space in the scrambling UCI defense and just gets the point down. Hawaii mounts a 6-point lead.
Here's Rosenthal, sends the jumper over, overpass, and that one will go out of bounds. But they keep it alive because you can go under the net. Hawaii with the point, and now they send that one. Justin Todd sends that one straight off of the block, gets the tool.
Read the block perfectly in the middle of the court. Todd challenged the blockers from UCI directly and put too much on it for them to corral it, and that one goes well past the left sideline.
Here comes Rosenthal again, sends a jumper over. Good pass, sets the 2 to Clark. Sakanoko with a great pass. They'll set the back row 5. They're able to get it up. UCI now with the 4. Sakanoko again, a tight pass. Rohr sends it down, but UCI keeps it up. A joust. Hawaii wins that one. UCI controlling it here. They'll set the 4, a joust again, and UCI picks up the tool.
And Jokanovic showing immense stamina on that last play, jumping up at the net multiple times in a row. He goes right back into him on the left side, and he goes up with another attack attempt and gets it to go.
Here comes Costi, sends this one across. They'll set the 5. Off of a UCI defender, and the point is picked up. The score now 19-12 Hawaii.
And Rohr just challenged the back row. Not enough of a blocking presence for them to stifle Rohr, and he just goes loco on that ball, hammers it down. UCI unable to corral it.
Here's the jumper from Rohr. Handled well by UCI. They'll set the back 5. And bad timing on the block, and they'll pick up the point.
Jokanovic, he's going to eat that up every day. The far right side, tandem of Hawaii blockers, just not in sync. Sakanoko got a touch on it, but falls right near the net.
Here's Jokanovic with a hard serve. Picked up well by Hawaii, sets the 4 and straight down. Sakanoko picks up the point to make it a 7-point lead.
And Hawaii set the spike up very quickly. UCI sluggish to respond to the movement on the Hawaii side of the net, and Sakanoko, before UCI's blockers could get set, he puts it right down using that power.
Here comes Kearney, sends this one across. UCI picks it up, sets the 4 straight down! Travell Jordan and Christian Tatrisky send that one packing.
Justin Todd and Travell Jordan really come alive again, showing that chemistry that they share with those outside hitters on the block, timing their jumps in sync.
Here's Kearney, will send that one straight into the net. The serving specialist unable to get the serve across there.
UCI now down 7. Says if Trevor Clark, who will likely go to a float serve, step beyond the back row line to attempt it. 21-14 Hawaii.
Here's Clark, sends that floater across, handled by Sakanoko. They'll set the 5, tipped over by Hawaii. Smart play by Christian Tatrisky, gets that one to fall.
And Christian Tatrisky again just diagnosing the block to a T. Back set from Rosenthal. Brink and Goss were heading down once Tatrisky hit the ball, and he just lofts it over.
Here's Tatrisky, sends that jumper over. Handled well by UCI, runs the quick shoot, but no touch. That one goes straight out of bounds. No, they are calling touch.
Goss, the ball changed direction after Goss hit it right into the hand of one of the Hawaii blockers. And Goss, too much power on the ball. Only a hand of the Hawaii blocker touched it, and it goes well out of bounds. So UCI still down 7.
Kiriako for UCI sends that one across. It's a tight one. UCI, Hawaii sends that one straight down. Travell Jordan on the 2 ball. is able to send that one and give Hawaii the point.
And Rosenthal sent that one up. Travell Jordan sent it right down. Micah Goss, only one to contest it, and there's just too much court for Jordan to hammer it home into, and he just simply had everywhere to work at his disposal.
Here's Sakanoko, send that one across, picked up by Costi, sets the back row pipe. Hawaii handles that one, sets the one. UCI keeps it alive, will joust for it. UCI picks that one up, but free ball over by Hawaii. UCI with the possession, sends it straight down. UCI, Goss gets the point on the one.
And Goss getting the touch, attempted the attack in the middle of the court, and looked as if it was a slight touch, but good regardless. Sakanoko, only one to contest.
Here's Brink with the floater, handled well by Hawaii. Woods will send it straight into the block. Roar unable to get around that one. Micah Goss sends that one straight down.
Micah Goss and Cameron Costi, 6'5" and 6'6" respectively, getting up there to deny Hawaii.
Here's Brink with the floater yet again. Perfect pass. They'll set the four. Hawaii does, and off of the leg of William Darcy. Hawaii picks up the point there to make it set point.
Hawaii been the exact opposite of their first set performance. They're just 1 point away from taking home the second frame.
Here comes Kanoa Wade. He'll send the jumper up, send it across. A great serve. Forces UCI out of system and sends one straight into Sakanoko to get the touch.
And
Andrej Jokanovic with the great play.
Andrej Jokanovic looked as if that ball may have been going out of bounds, hit it very, very hard, but Sakanoko just unable to get away from the hit in time, and he gets a touch on it and sends it well out of bounds for the UCI kill. Jokanovic stares down the crowd after, stone cold.
Here comes Goss trying to stay alive, sends the hard serve up. It's picked up. They'll set the back row five, and Hawaii and Todriski picks up the point to take set two.
Much needed set victory for the Rainbow Warriors, who net the game score at 1 apiece. And Hawaii, again, just relying on those outside hitters to command the offense that has spurred this comeback. Hawaii hit it just about a 150 hitting percentage in the first frame. We've seen that clip jump to 327 in the second frame. Hawaii just simply has been in command of, or was in command of the second set. And it's really been a tale of two sets for both these teams. UCI dominated the first, Hawaii dominated the second. Both haven't been really close. Shane, do you expect these sets to draw closer as you get to the conclusion of this game?
Well, what Hawaii did well there was that they eliminated a good amount of their mistakes. Not all of them, but a good amount. And that's what really kept UCI out of this one. Hawaii was setting the pins, trying to stay out of Clark's way there in the middle for UCI. If you're UCI, you really just have to continue to be that scrappy team that gets these balls over. UCI sending way too many free balls over, which kind of caused Hawaii to be able to control their offense and really just get in system. If you can force Hawaii out of system, UCI's got a chance.
And you mentioned the cleanliness, or just how both these teams have been playing with the fundamentals. Hawaii, although they did have that great service pressure in the second set, they still have recorded 8 service errors from the back line in this game compared to UCI, who has just 2 service errors on the night. But it really has felt like Hawaii's outperformed UCI at the back line in this game. We saw Todriski really spearhead that from the service line, led that 4-0, 5-0 run earlier in the second frame. They're really going to need to rely on those excellent service that they have. Even Kanoa Wade going out there and nearly getting a service ace in the second set as well. But with the way Hawaii's been playing, they're heading into this third set with some momentum. And if UC Irvine doesn't respond immediately and swiftly in the third set, they could be in a lot of trouble. And this is obviously a very key set, with the maximum being 5 sets. Whichever team wins this one will essentially have an advantage for the rest of the game, or at least until the end of the 4th set. So very consequential set coming up between these two big West rivals. And haven't seen the crowd get too into it so far. Hawaii, again, disappointed in the first set, played a lot better in the second, but Hawaii's crowd has, for the most part, been shushed by UCI. Expect them to get into this game more in the 3rd frame.
Well, here comes your 3rd set. Both of these teams split in the first 2. UCI took the first one. Hawaii took the second. Hawaii's going to be looking to continue that success into this one. And like you said, talking about the service errors, a lot of times coaches will tell their players just to serve it hard anyways. You'd rather send over a hard serve with the possibility of it going straight into the net than to give the other team a free ball who can pretty much just run whatever they want. You want to force these guys to have a bad first pass, to that serve receive, to be tough. We saw Hawaii's been doing a good job of that. Obviously in their last matchup had a bunch of errors, mainly Sakanoko, who simply just couldn't get one to fall. But today, Hawaii's done a pretty good job of that. And now we'll see the GCU transfer, Travell Jordan, head back to start off this one for Hawaii.
Travell Jordan, unique story because GCU actually just had to get rid of their men's volleyball program, but transferred to Hawaii immediately after the announcement.
Here's Jordan, UCI, good pass, sets the 2 to Clark. Sakanoko sends that straight up. Good pass, they'll set the 4. Picked up by UCI, who will set the long 4. Blocked, picked up by Roar. Sets the back row 5, down but alive. UCI keeps it up. They're gonna have to send this one over. Free ball and out of bounds goes that one. And Cameron Costi tried to send that one straight down, but sails it out of bounds.
And Costi just didn't get enough of his legs on the jump. Was forced to hit that beyond the back row line.
Here's Jordan with the floater. Handled well with their hands. They'll set the follower. It's picked up. Oh, what a play by diving Sakanoko, who keeps it alive for Hawaii. UCI picks it up. We'll set the quick 2 to Clark, and Clark will send it out. No touch, point Hawaii.
Sakanoko has been unreal from the back row. 2 straight plays where he's basically saved this Hawaii team and converted these scrambling plays into Hawaii points. Huge, huge effort from him.
Jordan with the floater. Costi will set the 4. Blocked and rejected, but up. It's kept up by UCI. Sent back over in Hawaii. Unable to lock back in. They thought they had gotten the point. They're arguing with the ref. But UCI picks up the point.
And they went straight at Sakanoko again, but just that time unable to get the dig from the back row. Powerful hitting from UCI to draw back closer into this contest.
Rosenthal getting an explanation from the ref as Costi heads back for UCI. Here comes his jumper. He sends this one across. Picked up well. A little bit of a tight set. Sets the 4. It's blocked. Set her out now. Sakanoko will set the 5 and send that one out and no touch. Roar unable to keep that one down. The score is now tied up at 2.
Good cross-court thought from Hawaii, but just put a bit too much juice on the right side hit. Went well past the left sideline.
Here's Costi from the back row. Here comes his set, or his jump. The jumper will sail out of bounds. The score now 3-2 Hawaii.
And Costi missed on that service attempt bad. Went well outside the left side of the court. Hawaii taking a 3-2 lead. Rosenthal heading beyond the back line.
Rosenthal now with the jumper, sends this one across. Great pass to the center, sets the 5 and gets the tool. Andrej Jokanovic picks up the point to tie it up at 3.
And oh man, Jokanovic has been money today for UCI. That's his 10th kill of the game.
Here's Jokanovic. We'll send this one across. Picked up by Sakanoko. They'll set the 5. Roar able to send that one down and off of the defender. The score now 4-3 Hawaii.
And Roar went straight at Jurkanovic in the middle of the back row. Unable to dig it up, as Roar had something to say to Jurkanovic after the play as well. It's getting a bit chippy between these two teams.
Here's Roar with the jumper. Great pass by the libero. They'll set the back 5, a touch, and it'll go out of bounds for the Tool. UCI staying alive, 4-4 the score.
And Darcy getting the block a bit out of place, getting the Tool, diagnosing the block, and recognize they could just simply hit it off their hand for the point.
Clark with his floater, sends this cross court, picked up well with their hands, sends the quick one down, does Todd. Hawaii picks up the point.
And when these middle blockers for Hawaii are getting in the air near the logo, it is dangerous territory for UCI. Just have not been able to stifle them at the net or in the back row whatsoever. This middle blocking unit of Hawaii taking control.
Here comes Justin Todd from beyond the line. Sends this one up, the jumper. And he'll sail that one out of bounds. Close, but no biscuit. Hawaii unable to get the point there. Tied up now here at 5 for UCI.
Todd went big with the serve, put a lot of velocity on it, but just tracked slightly past the back line.
Here comes Darcy. A hard one, and that one will also sail. Trading a bunch of service errors between the two teams.
That was seemingly the exact same service error that we had seen in the previous play from Hawaii. Just put a bit too much juice on it, tracked past the back line as well.
Here comes number 21 for Hawaii, sending this one across. Picked up well by UCI, who will set the back 5. It's kept up, but a tight joust, won by Hawaii. UCI will set the 4 now, and that one will be kept alive by Roar. Was there a touch, though, or no? Before that, Roar shouldn't have dove for that one, but UCI picks up the point.
Ton of blockers for Hawaii teaming up on the play. Calling the touch again for UCI, but just fearless attacking from these Anteaters despite the 3 blockers levitating in the air on the right side of the court. And just lofted that right toward them. Ended up getting a lucky touch from that block. Got them a bit out of place.
And now UCI will send this one across. Picked up well by Hawaii, who will set the back 5. Kept alive by UCI, who will set the 4 and lands in. UCI gets their first lead of the set.
Jurkanovic with the big play to take the lead for the Anteaters. And it looks as if Hawaii changed to Tritsky's jersey because he had his earlier one ripped.
Here's Brink now, sends the floater. They'll set the 4. And Sakanoko able to send that one cross court and down. Ties it up now at 7.
And they're really exposing Jurkanovic's lacking dig ability in this one. They just are simply attacking him every chance they get. Sakanoko going cross court right at Jurkanovic, who just cannot lift it up for a UCI attempt to respond.
Here's Sakanoko with the serve, and that one will go straight into the net. You can kind of tell his entire approach was off because of the bad toss.
And Sakanoko just cannot get it together at the service line. We saw these issues plaguing him last game where he had 6 service errors. In this game, he already is at 2.
Here comes Goss now at the back line with the jumper. Sends this one across hard. Bad pass by Sakanoko, forcing the libero to set the 4. Great hit by Roar! The crowd roars with Roar as they pick up the point and tie it at 8.
And Roar with yet another kill, leading this Hawaii attack. 11th kill of the game, which ties a game high.
Here comes Jordan with the floater, sends this one across. They'll set the 4, they'll tip it over, kept alive. Sakanoko will set the 5, rejected by Clark and Costi. UCI with the monster block.
And went right back to Roar, but this time Costi and Clark in perfect position to roof The ball on the left side. Tried to go cross court yet again. That has been Roar's bread and butter, but just unable to get it past the block.
Here's Costi, great serve, forces a bad first pass. Hawaii forced to free ball it over. UCI with a chance to run a play here. Will set the 4, but send it out of bounds. A bad hit by Antre Chikanovic, the new Cover of the Year award winner, unable to get it done there.
And Chikanovic in complete disbelief after that one. Put his hand straight up to his face. Thought that would have been an easy kill for, as you said, Shane, the Big West freshman of the year.
Here comes Tread Rosenthal. Sends this one across. A tight pass, an overpass saved by UCI. Or no, they're gonna call an over. Hawaii picks up the point to make it now 10-9.
Questionable call. I didn't think he necessarily reached over the net. But still, they're going to call it. Hawaii goes up 1. Rosenthal heading back to the service line.
Here comes Rosenthal with his jumper, sends this one across. Picked up well by UCI, who will set the 4. Get it off of a block, but kept alive by Rosenthal, who will now set. Roar, who keeps it alive. UCI with the ball, sets the 4 again. Hawaii sends it straight back on a block. UCI sets the 5, blocked again by Hawaii. Kept alive by UCI. Hawaii now with the possession. Will set the back row pick and send it down on UCI side.
Wow.
Hawaii picking up the point to make it 11-9.
Hawaii's defense has just been impenetrable.
Oh, excuse me, they're giving, no, never mind. They're giving the timeout to UCI. I thought the refs all came together. One of the guys was pointing at the ground saying, hey, it was on Hawaii's side.
It looked as if they may have been changing it, you know?
They
but
didn't. UCI
didn't end up
takes
changing
the
it.
timeout.
UCI timeout, but Hawaii's defense has simply just been impenetrable in this game. One of the better defensive teams in the nation, but it has really been their backcourt play in this contest, getting dig after dig against the Anteaters. Are already at 19 in this game. You see Rainbow Warriors on the court scrambling everywhere for a chance to get the ball. And they have done a great job of stifling these UC Irvine attackers who are attempting to put it in the back row, but guys like Sakanoko and Greenidge have really done a nice job fortifying right ahead of the back line. Expect that to continue here. UCI is going to just have to continue hitting hard and hopefully break this Hawaii defense that has allowed them to take this lead in the third set.
Yeah, just a tightly contested match here in the third set. Both teams owning one set up to this point. It's been a fun national championship game to call here in beautiful Los Angeles at Pauley Pavilion here on UCLA's campus. As now Tread Rosenthal and Hawaii will head back. Rosenthal looking to extend this lead. He's made a couple terrific plays so far at the center position for Hawaii to really force them into this game. Obviously started off slow here in that first set. Second set came out hot in this third set. It's been back and forth, but Rosenthal back for Hawaii now. UCI going to be looking to side out here quickly to stay in this one.
Rosenthal, steady presence at the service line. Go at it again.
Here's Rosenthal. We'll send this one across. Handled well. Great pass. They'll set the quick one, and Clark will send it down. UCI picks up the point to make it a 10-11, down by 1.
That is exactly what UCI needed coming out of the timeout. Play through the middle, send it right down for the kill. Perfect play.
Here's Chikanovic. We'll send a little bit of a jumper floater, forces an overpass that'll go out of bounds. UCI ties it up at 11.
Chikanovic, again, with his first service ace of the contest, but couldn't have come at a better time than not the game at 11.
Here's Chikanovic back at the line again. The score 11-11. Chikanovic looking to spark a run here for UCI. He'll send the jumper, hard jumper, handled well by Hawaii. who will set the 5. Sent down! The libero, Shane Aiken, unable to get that one up, and Hawaii picks up the point.
And again, Rohr and Rosenthal showcasing that offensive connection. Rosenthal knowing exactly where Rohr was on the right side, back sets the ball perfectly to him where he can hammer it home, and Rohr does just that.
Here comes Rohr, sends this one, picked up well by Aiken. UCI will set the tight 5, send it over, pass over, and Sakanoko sends it down. The score now 13-11 Hawaii.
Getting UCI off their toes again, just so pivotal to get this Anteater team out of system. And Hawaii is really forcing other players that are not Andrej Jokanovic to step up, and no one has really had a consistent performance apart from the freshman who stands right side of the back line right now.
Here's Rohr with the hardwood, and they're calling it in. What a serve! Picking up the ace, Adrian Rohr.
Rohr with his first service ace of the night, just put that right down the line. You see, I thought that was going out, but Rohr pinpointed the ball perfectly.
Here comes Rohr, score 14-11, sends this one across, a tight one. Sakanoko sends the overpass straight down. Hawaii pulling away, the score 15-11, and UCI calls another timeout.
And credit Rohr again with the great serve. Jokanovic with the bad overpass on the first touch gets it right over to Sakanoko, who levitates and hammers it right down the middle of the UCI defense. And Jokanovic just has been an absolute defensive liability in this game. 0 digs on the game for him. He does have 3 blocks to go along with that, but in the back row, Jokanovic just simply has not lived up to the hype. He is going to need to start providing more of a steady presence near the back line if UCI is going to want to stifle this Hawaii attack, which has seen their hitting percentage again now balloon to .338 on the day.
Hawaii getting into full form here, looking like a well-oiled machine. Rohr, like you said, is just really starting to take this game over, whether it be hitting at the line or serving from beyond the arc. This guy has just been doing it all for Hawaii, and Hawaii's starting to eliminate these mistakes that have been plaguing them, not only in this match, but last match as well against Long Beach. Hawaii looking pretty good out here right now with the 4-point lead here in the third set. The score 15-11.
And if you're Hawaii, what a response after that 10-point defeat in the first set. Everything was clicking for David Kniffen and this Anteater roster, but Hawaii now up 4 in the third set with the potential to take the game advantage. They really just need to close out this set, and if they can even limit Jokanovic on the offensive end, then this could be smooth sailing for the rest of the game for the Rainbow Warriors and route to their first national championship since 2022.
Well, we're heading out of the timeout now. Rohr back ready for this serve. Sends this one up. Here comes the jumper. A hard one. Great pass by Shane Aiken. They'll set the quick one, and Clark will send it out of bounds. Hawaii stays alive. The score is 16-11.
And again, just Clark did not get a good angle on the attack near center court. Forced that ball well out of bounds.
Here comes Rohr again. Sends this one across. A great pass by Shane Aiken. Kind of tight. They'll set the 4. Rosenthal keeps it alive. Rohr sends it back into play. Sakanoko sends it over. UCI controlling the ball here. Sets the back row pipe and gets the touch. UCI picks up the point.
And Jokanovic looking to spearhead a comeback. Rises pretty far back beyond the line and just got the middle blockers for Hawaii. I believe that was Justin Todd to tap it with enough force to force it well out of bounds. Great read from Jokanovic. Very veteran play for the first year player. And UCI finally gets Rohr off the service line with Trevor Clark now heading beyond the back line.
Here's Clark now with the floater, sends it across, handled well. Hawaii sets a quick one, and Todd sends it down and says hello to UCI.
Rosenthal, pinpoint pass to Todd. Just simply had to levitate and use that strong arm of his to send it home. UCI, not even a chance to dig that ball up.
Hawaii now will bring in Finn Kearney, who they've used as a serving specialist so far in this matchup. The score now 17-12 here in set number 3. Hawaii leading by 5. Kearney, here comes his jumper. Sends this one across. Handled. Bad pass by UCI. They'll set the tight 4. Kept alive. Setter out. Roar comes up to set the 5. Off of the block and down. Roar picks it up. Excuse me, is that Tatrisky? Tatrisky picks it up.
And Tatrisky, don't forget about him. He can really get it going on the offensive end. It's been all Adrian Roar in the past 2 sets, but Tatrisky getting active.
Here's Kearney with the hard one. Shane Aiken able to get under it. Forcing a tight joust at the line. Hawaii wins that one. UCI keeps it alive while laying on the ground. They'll set the 5. Picked up by Shane Aiken. What a jump by this libero. UCI sends it down. They set Brink on the 5, and he's able to tool it off and get the point. The score now 18-13.
And Costi on the ground sends a free ball right to Hawaii. Should have probably been Hawaii's point with the free ball that they got, but just completely squandered that opportunity.
Here comes Darcy, and he'll send that one straight into the net. The point goes to Hawaii. The score now 19-13.
And speaking of squandered opportunities, William Darcy, you just cannot afford to have a service error in this situation. Now down 6 in the 3rd set. Hawaii 6 points away from closing it out.
Here's Tatrisky, and he'll send that one also into the net. A couple of service errors.
UCI, another chance to really claw back. Andreas Brink at the line. Brink, only 6 service aces this season so far.
Here comes Brink. The jump float. He'll send that one straight into the net. 3 straight service errors for these teams.
Back and forth we go at the service line, and now with Sakanoko heading back, it may be a 4th. But who knows? He may start to get it going from the beyond the back line.
Here comes Sakanoko. We'll send that one straight into the net. Back to back to back to back. Service errors. The score now 20-15.
Sakanoko, he really has been excellent this game, but in this tournament, whenever he's gone back to the service line, you just know it's going to be a service error, and we absolutely called that one right. He has just not been able to dial in that jump serve. He should change up his approach.
Here comes Micah Goss. Sends this one across. This one goes over. They'll set the 4. Hawaii tips it over. Kept alive. Setter out. They'll set the 4. Blocked by Hawaii. UCI able to regain it. Sets the 4 again. Tries to tip it over and gets denied. Tread Rosenthal says no.
And Tread Rosenthal has come to play today. Team high 3 blocks for the Rainbow Warriors in this one. The setter really showcasing his multifaceted skill set.
Here comes Kanoa Wade, and he'll send that one straight out of the back. The score now 21-16. Hawaii up in this one, but UCI with a chance here. Now with Costi heading back.
Need to draw back soon. Hawaii needs just 4 points to close out the 3rd set. Costi jumping up.
Here's Costi, sends this one across, picked up well. They'll set the quick one. In Shane Aiken's face goes Todd. What a play. The score now 22-16.
And Todd, 4th kill of the day. 333 hitting clip to go along with it, but he has really come alive on the offensive end in these past 2 sets.
Here's Rosenthal from behind the line. He'll send that one into the net. UCI breathes an air of relief. Relief. What the frick? Close enough.
Synonym.
And now Andrej Chikanovic back at the line for UCI. Hawaii handles this one, sets a quick one and down! Todd sends another one packing.
Todd, how do you do, young fella? 2 out of the last 3 points for Hawaii have been Todd kills, and whenever he's getting up in the middle of the court, he is just sending it straight down, thundering toward the UCI side of the court.
Here's Roar, the score 23-17, sends it across. Great pass, they'll set the back 5. Blocked by Hawaii, they'll set the 4 now. Blocked again by Hawaii, kept alive by UCI. A joust at the line, blocked again by Hawaii, 1 there. UCI unable to get that one. They set the 4 and that one goes into the net. Hawaii with 3 straight blocks.
And Todd, Rosenthal, and Tetritsky denying Brink on the right side of the net. Brink had 3 opportunities to get it over, but those 3 blockers said no, 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 each and every time, denying Brink. Set point coming up with Roar, the steady hand at the service line, looking to seal it.
Here comes Roar with the jumper. Sends this one across and out of bounds. Hawaii unable to close it out here. The score 24-18.
Roar almost hit on that one, but just nearly missed the back line. Still another set point coming up, but UCI does have the serve, so they can control this volley a bit more than Hawaii.
UCI electing to sub out Clark here to bring in their serving specialist, Aiden Kiriakou, excuse me.
Kiriakou, 18 service aces this season. Just 55 service errors along with it.
Here comes the serve. It goes across, handled well. They'll set the back 5 and down! Tiston Tetrisky closes set number 3 out. Hawaii 1 set away from a national championship.
And Hawaii back-to-back 25-18 set victories. We saw this game, or this set, tied at 11 apiece, but Hawaii outpacing UC Irvine 14-7 in the latter half of the set, and Hawaii on the cusp of its first national title since 2022. What are the keys for Hawaii to close this one out, Shane, and get that national title?
Hawaii's just done a great job putting pressure with their serves. If they're able to continue to do that, they're going to be able to come away with this one. We saw there near the end some service errors that cost them, allowed UCI to stay alive, but Hawaii's been terrific at the net as well. Getting those double and triple blocks up, that's going to be the key. If you never played volleyball, you might not know, but trying to stay in rhythm while blocking is one of the hardest things to do. It's all about your footwork. It's all about your timing. If Hawaii's able to do that at a high level, it's going to be hard for UCI to be able to run their oppos and their outsides there and force them to look to other areas in the back row.
And if you're UC Irvine, what do you really have to do to even get back into this game? They looked so dominant in the first set, but have just simply gone far away from that in the previous 2 sets. What are the keys for them?
Well, UCI's the ones now, they're starting to make those mistakes. They're starting to make the sloppy errors. They need to be able to force Hawaii out of system. Get that ball to Tread Rosenthal, the setter. You got to be telling Clark that's where you got to be feeding the ball. Get it over to Tread Rosenthal, force him to take that first touch, and to force either Quentin Greenridge or the middle back / outside for Hawaii, Lue Sakanoko, to be able to make those plays and get those sets up. But if UCI is able to do that, they're going to be able to stay this one and force a 5th set.
It's also really hard just because Hawaii is a lot taller than UC Irvine, especially in their middle blocking unit. Clark, I believe, just stands at 6'7", whereas you have guys, Todd, who's nearly 7 feet, and then Rosenthal at center is 6'11". It's really hard when you have that lack of size in the middle, and Hawaii just completely exploiting that in this game, and not even to mention Travell Jordan, who stands at 6'10" as well. So you just have to use so much more effort on the blocking side of things if you are a shorter blocker, having to jump up every single play using the maximum amount of your leg power, and could be having to wear and tear type effect on UCI, who again has played 14 sets already in this tournament, whereas Hawaii has played just 8. So having that type of wear and tear at the national level, it can really start to impact the team and their ability to jump at the net with authority.
And now coming here for the 4th set, Hawaii looking to close this one out to take home a national championship. UCI looking to force the 5th to stay alive. Costi is back for UCI, ready to serve. Hawaii and their team getting in their huddle one last time. As Costi will now get the ball as this 4th set is almost underway here in Poly Pavilion.
And it's been a long road for Hawaii to get to this point. Lost in the final in 2023, didn't make the tournament in 2024, and lost in the semifinal to UCLA, sweeping fashion last year.
Here's Costi. Great pass by Hawaii, who will set the pipe! Sakanoko sends it down!
And Sakanoko knew exactly where that ball was going. Trent Rosenthal teed it up perfectly to Sakanoko, who hammered that home with some authority right through the UCI defense.
Here's Rosenthal now. And that one will go in. UCI arguing that it was out. They're going for the challenge, it looks like. And they will. They're going to challenge it.
And Kniffen gesturing immediately to the referee after that call. From here, it did look out. Just barely, but Kniffen, from his point of view, he saw that one go right down ahead of him, gestured immediately toward the referee again, and they are at the scorer's table looking at the last play. Rosenthal set that pretty far back into the back row, but he pinpointed that. That would be quite the service ace for the 6'11" setter.
You got to give these line judges some grace. Being a line judge is one of the hardest things to do. And there, it is going to be called out. UCI picks up the point. The score now tied 1-1 here in the 4th set.
And Kniffen not afraid to challenge. Seen that work out multiple times in his favor. Very smart decision from the head honcho.
Jokanovic now back behind the line, sends up the jumper, sends it across. It's going to be a tight one. Kept alive by Hawaii. We'll set it across. They'll now set the 5, does UCI. Blocked by Hawaii. They'll set the 4. Blocked again by Hawaii. They'll set the quick 1, and down goes that one. Unable to get the 3rd block. UCI picks up the point.
And Micah Goss challenging the Hawaii middle blockers near the logo, jumps straight up and gets right past his counterpart, Justin Todd, who didn't have a good angle. Goss, time to diagnose where Todd's hands were, and he put it right in the right spot.
Here comes the serve, and that one will go straight into the net. Hawaii now ties it up 2-2.
That was just UCI's 7th service error of the day. Played very clean from the line in this game, but Jokanovic just unable to get enough float on the serve. Looks like Rohr will now be back beyond the back line for Hawaii. Again, he's been prolific at the service line tonight.
Here comes Rohr, sends that one across, and that one is called out. The score now 3-2 UCI.
It's Hawaii's 17th service error, 10 more than UCI. Again, although they've had some great serves throughout this game, service errors have plagued them as well in this contest, putting points on the board for UCI.
Here comes Micah Goss for UCI. Sends this one across, a tight set, sets the 4. Sakanoko able to layer the ball over the block and pick up the point.
Darcy and Clark jumped well ahead of the attack attempt well behind it. Sakanoko diagnosed it perfectly from the far left side, just lofted gently over in the heart of the UCI defense.
Here comes Justin Todd. The score now tied at 3. Todd sends it across, picked up well by UCI. They'll set the 4, And down goes that one. Andreas Brink picks up the point to make it 4-3.
And Brink, that may be the spark plug for him today. Just 6 kills on a 188 clip. He has been hemmed in by this Hawaii block.
Here's Darcy, sends a little bit of a floater over, picked up well, tried to set the quick one, unable to do so. UCI sends it straight back. They'll set the back 5, and that one will sail out to Trisky, unable to get that one down.
And Rosenthal a bit sloppy on the second touch. Opted to go with the back set. It ended up drifting far back from the net, which puts Trisky in a hard spot.
Here's Darcy, sends the floater over. They'll set the back 5. Layers it over, and Shane Aiken unable to get under that one. Hawaii picks up the point to draw within 1.
And Hawaii's ability to lay it over this UCI block has been exceptional in this 4th set so far. Has accounted for 2 Hawaii points, 2 out of their 4 so far in the 4th set.
Here's Trisky, sends a hard one. Great pass though. UCI sets the back 5 and gets the tool. William Darcy, the 6'10" man from Australia, gets the point.
Gets the tool, and again, these outside hitters for both teams reading what the middle blockers are doing, or just the block in general, and Darcy gets it to go.
Here's Brink, gets that one to trickle over the net. They'll set the 4. Sakanoko able to layer it over the block to make the score 5-6. Hawaii down by 1.
And Sakanoko just reading the block very well on the far left side. 2nd kill of this set already. So he will drift back to the back line.
Here comes Sakanoko now with his jumper. Sends that one in! He picks up his ace!
Just in the nick of time, Sakanoko gets the ace to fall, his first of the game. He will stride back to the back line for the 2nd attempt.
Sakanoko with the score tied here, now at 6. Sends his jumper up again, and that one goes in again! The 2nd ace in a row for Sakanoko, he's on fire!
Sakanoko must have heard our broadcast because he has been dynamite from the service line. Spearheading a run, but David Niffen wasting no time, no hesitation, challenges the call for whether it was in or out.
It looked tight. Obviously, we're pretty far up, so I'm not going to give a firm opinion on that one. I could be wrong, I could be right, but it looked into me. Like I said, line judging is one of the hardest professions because of how fast it moves, especially here at this collegiate level. In tournaments, they would make us do it for each other. And that was always a pretty hard thing to do, I won't lie. I made the wrong call probably about like 50% of the time. So
they had y'all on unpaid labor.
They did. Those tournaments were not fun for me, I will not lie.
Oh, that sounds like a treat, having to look at every single ball go out of bounds or whatever. It's just, you have to have like 20/20 type of vision for that.
You're hungry, it's been a long day, you're in a gym with some crazy lighting. It was a fun experience and not at the same time. But here now, Hawaii, as of now, up 7-6 here. We're about to get the call, and Hawaii holds on to it. Sakanoko's 2nd ace counts.
And Sakanoko coming to play at just the right time. He will head back for his 3rd service attempt.
Hawaii looking to close out this one and grab a national championship. Sakanoko behind the line. Hawaii up by 1. The score is 7-6 here in the 4th set. Here comes Sakanoko, sends that one up in the air, and down again! 3 straight aces! Give Sakanoko the MVP!
Back to back to back. Sakanoko goes AWOL for Hawaii, and he's got the crowd on its feet.
Absolutely filthy by Sakanoko. Had Aiken and the rest of the back line guessing where that ball was going. If you're UCI right now, you're telling each other, you've got to close down those seams. You've got to be firm on who's got it. You can see Aiken and his other fellow middle back there with him, both drifting away from the play, thinking the other one was going to grab it. But ultimately, if you're the libero, Shane Aiken, you've got to grab that one if it's coming right at you. It's a great serve, don't get me wrong. It's got a lot of power, but you've got to get your platform behind it. UCI needs to find a way to shut down Sakanoko right here, the score being 8-6.
And just this back line performance from UCI, they've really faltered in that area throughout this game. It's been really difficult for them to stay in these sets when you have the powerful hitting pin hitters of Hawaii, as well as their strong service presence, just completely getting them out of sorts. They have to lock it in and get some digs going from the back row, because that has really been what has marred this game so far for UCI. Got off to that great start, but it's been all Hawaii since.
Sakanoko really starting to take over this game. He's heard you talking on the radio, talking bad about his jumper. Like I said, I guarantee these coaches have just been telling him, getting in his hair, hey, just continue on. We know what you have. We'd rather you force these ones that might not go over, but put immense pressure. And then when they do, they hit like crazy. And the 3 straight aces here that gave Hawaii the lead, now they're up by 2 here in the 4th set. The crowd, which is mostly Hawaii fans who travel well, is hyped and behind this team. Sakanoko looking to continue. Can he get 4 straight aces right here? We're about to see as the ref gives him the all clear. Sakanoko spinning the ball, sends this one up, waits a second, then goes, and he sends that one about 20 feet out of bounds.
Wow.
The icing hurt.
Wow.
UCI picks up that point.
Every single time one of these servers has come out of a timeout, it's been a service error for both of these teams. And Sakanoko is not exempt from that either.
Here comes Clark, sends the floater over. They'll set the 4, tight joust at the top, but tooled off. Hawaii will pick up the point there off of the tool and joust.
And Roar in full control of the attack. Got the 2 middle blockers to jump with him. They were out of position and he just flared it off one of their hands and it's straight out of bounds.
Here's Jordan, sends up the floater. They'll set the 4 and down goes that one. Andrej Jokanovic brings UC Irvine back within 1.
Much needed kill. Jokanovic runs up to the set and goes cross court for the kill.
The score now 9-8. UCI. Costi sends this one across. An overpass by Sakanoko. Sent straight back down by William Darcy.
William Darcy takes it himself off the first touch. Ball went straight to him after an errant first touch from Sakanoko, and William Darcy does the rest.
The score tied up here at 9. Costi sends that jumper across. Sakanoko handles that one. They set the quick one, and Todd says, give me that!
Todd stamping his impact on this game. Rosenthal tees the pass up perfectly for Todd, who just does the rest. Already in midair by the time Rosenthal passed it to him, and he just had it everywhere on the court to use.
Here comes Rosenthal, sends that one across. Some miscommunication on the line, sends a tight one on the net. The 2 players in the backcourt, Andreas Brink and Shane Aiken, with some miscommunication on who was taking that one, sent the overpass that went out of bounds.
And Costi with the not a very smart play on the last one. He kind of reached over the net to try and get the outside hitter. I believe that was Jokanovic, the 3rd touch for a kill attempt. But he just did not send that even close to Jokanovic. Ended up on the Hawaii side of the net, and it goes past the right sideline for a Hawaii point. Rosenthal heading back to the line for the service.
The score now 11-9. Rosenthal sends up the jumper and sends that one sailing out of bounds.
And even though Hawaii has had 8 service aces in this game, we've seen their service error count climb to 9 on the day.
Here comes Jukanovic with the hard one. Handled well by Sakanoko. They'll set the tight 4, but kept alive. They're calling a net violation by Tread Rosenthal. Tread Rosenthal sending a bad pass there, or bad set, excuse me, causing it now to be tied up here at 11. Andrej Jukanovic back at the line quickly. Sends us one across. Put up by Hawaii, but kept up by UCI, staying alive. UCI sends a free ball over now. Hawaii needs to capitalize. Sends us one across on a 5. Kept alive by UCI, who sets the 4. Tipped over. Kept alive by Hawaii, who will also set the 4. Kept alive by UCI, who will now set the back row 5. And it is going straight into the net. Hawaii survives.
That one is going to haunt William Darcy. Just could not get the good angle on the ball. Earlier in that volley, we saw Tread Rosenthal with a bit of an errant pass to Chatritsky on the far left side. That Chatritsky had to lean back and shove over the net, but William Darcy wastes an opportunity to keep the volley alive, and Hawaii gets a game-changing point.
Here comes Roar, up by 1. A bad first pass. Sent up. Tips it over onto Hawaii's side. Tread Rosenthal sets the 4. Do they get the touch? They do! Sakanoko tips it off of the block to make it a 13-11 score.
And UCI's blockers is unable to roof the ball on the previous play. Sakanoko didn't get the best jump on it, but saw the out-of-position UCI middle blockers on the far left side and just lofted it over, knowing that there was going to be a touch attempt, and he put it in the perfect spot where UCI wouldn't be able to roof it, but they could touch the ball, and as it went out of bounds, UCI was called for the touch.
Here comes Adrian Roar. Sends us one great serve. Handled well by UCI, who sets the back 5 and straight into Justin Todd's face. The score now 13-12, UCI down by 1.
UCI, we know that this team is gritty as it comes, in fact. They are not backing down in this set, knowing the championship is on the line. Back and forth we go. Hawaii up 13-12. Micah Goss heading back to the service line.
Here comes Micah Goss, gets his signature 3, claps in with the crowd. The score 13-12, UCI down by 1. Goss sends this one across, handled well by Hawaii, who will set the 1, and down goes that one. Todd gets his revenge.
Beautiful play from Todd. Yet again, he's just levitating and floating in the air whenever he gets up. And credit to Rosenthal, who's just been able to set him up perfectly right down the pipe. And Todd has been taking full advantage. Again, whole court at his disposal. He is making UCI pay.
Kearney, the serving specialist, comes in, sends this one across. UCI sets the back 5. Handled well by Hawaii, staying alive, who will set the tight 4. Sakanoko able to get it on their side. UCI stays alive, also sets the 4, blocked, and down goes that one! Travell Jordan says no. The score now 15-12, Hawaii.
And beautiful set from Rosenthal on one of the previous in-system plays for Hawaii. Rosenthal was well beyond the net, and he just lofted it straight to Sakanoko in a great attempt to get a kill. Didn't end up getting it due to the dig from Jokanovic, but Hawaii ends up with the point.
Here's Kearney, and he picks up an ace. The serving specialist makes it a 4-point game.
And Hawaii now takes a 4-point lead on the cusp of a national title, needing just 9 points to seal this contest at Pauley Pavilion. David Kniffen forced to call a timeout. UCI has now won a national title since 2013 in David Kniffen's second season in Irvine. They are going to need a Herculean effort to get back into this one. Already down 2-1 in the game and 16-12 in the 4th set. If you're UCI, how are you going to limit this serving performance we've seen from Hawaii, Shane?
It simply goes back to the seams. That's literally it. You need your best passer back there, which normally is your libero, Shane Aiken, who has been off today. Shane Aiken needs to take control for UCI on this back end to be able to pick up these hard serves coming across for Hawaii. Hawaii is just doing a terrific job on all facets of the game right now. They're passing, setting, blocking. It's going all right for Hawaii right now, which is why they have a 16-12 lead. Only needed 9 points to secure a national championship.
It is beautiful to see all the Hawaii faithful in this crowd, many of whom traveled all the way from Hawaii to Los Angeles, 5 to 6 hour flight depending what island you are on. Hawaii obviously plays on Oahu, but they know how to travel, and this fan base has backed them this entire season and throughout Hawaii's program history as well. The band is playing. We are loud here in Poly Pavilion as everyone, or well, I guess not everyone right now, but they will get on their feet shortly as we wind to the end of this fourth set.
Here comes Kearney. The score is 16-12. Sends this one across. Handled by Shane Aiken. They'll set the 5. Picked up by Hawaii. Sends this one skying high. How to put it over. They do. And Roar from the back row puts it down.
Niffen is going to challenge, however, to see if the ball landed inside the back line, but I don't know. That looked pretty good to me. Roar with the long distance shots to put Hawaii up 17-12 for the time being. And they already have the call. Hawaii points. Man, David Niffen just challenges everything at this point, but
a great call by those line judges. Like I said, difficult to do. They get the right call this time. The score 17-12 now for Hawaii, a 5-point lead. Kearney on a serving streak right here for Hawaii as he sends this one across, trickles over the net. Costi sets the 1, and Clark smashes it down. There's the momentum shift they needed.
And Clark with the authoritative kill down the pipe. Costi teeing it up perfectly. It goes right in the middle between the back row players for Hawaii.
Darcy back for UCI, down by 4, sends it across. Great pass from Hawaii to set the 4. Sakanoko sends it up. This ball needs to go over. Free ball pass. UCI keeps it alive, sets the 1 again. Up by Hawaii, but out of bounds. Clark picks up the point there for UCI to pull within 3.
They are just working through Clark right now, spearheading this comeback. The chemistry between Costi and Clark near the logo on full display.
Here's the floater, picked up by Hawaii. They'll set the back row pipe, kept up but out of bounds. UCI only down by 2. The score 17-15 as Hawaii calls a timeout.
UCI 3-0 run, and they simply just need to go back to what has been working. Clark absolutely exposing whichever middle blocker is on him in the center. And if you're UCI, what a way to come back into this set when they were down by 5, drawing the deficit to 2 now. What UCI can absolutely not afford right now, though, and it would completely kill their momentum, is a service error. We have seen that kill multiple momentum swings in this game. But if UCI, off the back of William Dartu, I believe, is at the service line right now, then they can most certainly claw back into this one. And Hawaii, smart timeout from Charlie Wade, the veteran coach in his 16th year with the Rainbow Warriors. When you have this type of experience, especially on this team with a bunch of players who have returned after they had that youthful team last year, they have a year of experience under their belt. I'm assuming Charlie Wade is just take a deep breath. We're in full control of this game. All we have to do is execute the fundamentals and not get too far ahead of ourselves. Get this serve back and allow us to control the pace of the game like they've been doing all day from the line. That is what Hawaii needs to do to close this one out.
Yeah, this is a big point right here. The difference between being down 1 point or being down 3 points is massive mentally. So if you're UCI, picking up this point here right now, William Darcy back to serve for UCI. The fans starting to get on their feet here in Poly Pavilion. The score 17-15 here in the fourth set. Hawaii looking to snag the national championship right here. Darcy sends this one across and in. He picks up the ace.
Darcy pinpoints it on the back row. Crucial ace for UCI.
Here comes Darcy yet again, fresh off of the ace, not giving much time. The score 17-16, sends a floater over. Handled well by Hawaii, sets the 5 and down! Christian Tetrisky pulls away. The score now 18-16 Hawaii.
Tetritsky, using a uniform that isn't his, is just completely dominant on the right side. Puts it right at Shane Aiken, isn't able to dig the ball up. Powerful hit from the outside hitter.
Here comes Tetrisky, sends the jumper, and sends that one out. Looked close, but slightly out of bounds. The score now 18-17. UCI down by 1.
UCI, who was just down 5 a couple minutes ago.
Here's Brink with the floater. Sends this one across. Sends a quick one. Travell Jordan sends that one down.
And Hawaii, just as UCI did earlier in this frame, working through their middle blocking tandem of Justin Todd and Travell Jordan, simply unguardable.
Here comes Sakanoko, who had 3 straight aces not too long ago. Sends this one across. Handled well by UCI. Will set the quick one by Clark. Sakanoko keeps it up. Roar gets blocked and out of bounds gets the tool. Hawaii 5 points away from a national championship.
Sakanoko on the back line has just been an absolute game changer. Looked like that was going to be a kill for Trevor Clark, but he dives to his right side, digs it up, and allows Hawaii to get a good shot on UCI.
Here comes Sakanoko and sends that one straight into the net. The toss looked off.
And with Sakanoko, whenever he's on the service line, it's all a matter of the toss. Whenever he's had a bad toss, it's been a service error. But when he's had a great toss, it's either been a good serve or an ace.
Here comes Clark, sends the floater across, handled by Hawaii. Will set the back row 5 and off of Clark. Hawaii now 4 points away with the score being 21-18.
And Clark straying away from his typical middle blocking responsibilities on the back row. Left on a bit of an island there. And Tetritsky takes full advantage, knowing that Clark isn't the best backline player. We see him substituted out immediately after he wasn't able to keep that volley alive.
Here comes Kanoa Wade. Sends this one across, trickles over the net. UCI sets the 4, handled well by Hawaii, who now will set the back row 5 and down to Trisky! 3 points away from a national championship.
Tetritsky tearing apart and dissecting the UCI defense on the perfect cross-court kill. Puts Hawaii up 22-18.
Kanoa Wade with the jumper, sends this one across. Aiken puts it up, sets the 4, and out of bounds. No touch, 2 points away for Hawaii.
All Hawaii needs is a deuce to seal their, again, first national championship since 2022. Kanoa Wade championship in sight will take the serve.
Here comes Wade. Serves this one out of bounds. UCI staying alive. The score 23-19.
Kanoa Wade just put a bit too much mustard on that again. And Costi will now drift back beyond the back line. Costi, 24 service aces this season.
Here comes Costi. Sends that one across. They'll set the back row 5. Layers it over the block. Costi will set a weird one. UCI forced to free ball it over. Hawaii with a chance to score here. Dumps it! Rosenthal takes it himself!
That's simply just too easy for Rosenthal. Had the ball high up in the air and just could take his time with it to decipher the UCI defense and how they were going to read his pass. And he smartly takes the dump to get Hawaii to set points.
Here comes Rosenthal. Game on the line. Handled by UCI, who puts it up, blocked by Hawaii. UCI staying alive, sets the 4 again, and unable to get it up is Hawaii. UCI stays alive, the score 24-20.
Darcy with his 9th kill of the contest, and now the season on the line for UCI. Draganovic will step beyond the back line. Everyone at Poly Pavilion on their feet for set point.
Here comes Draganovic to send this one across, handled by Sakanoko. Hawaii sets the 4, and down! Tatrisky wins the national championship for Hawaii! Rainbow Warriors are your 2026 national champions!
Tatrisky tears the heart out of this UCI team. Far left side, Rosenthal with the pinpoint pass. Tatrisky able to use that power. UCI did not stand a chance on the back row as he put that one just straight down. Hawaii wins its first national championship since 2022 as gold and green confetti falls onto the court. Wow, what a season for this Rainbow Warrior team, Shane.
It really is. Hawaii proving why they're one of the most dominant teams in the nation here on the national stage. And for UCI, the underdog story comes to an end, but nothing to be ashamed of. They fought their way all the way here to the national championship, but came up short. The Rainbow Warriors, headlined by some of their star players, Trent Rosenthal, Tatrisky, and Sakanoko, helped give Hawaii the national championship.
Rosenthal, what a performance from the Hawaii star. 44 assists and 6 digs, along with 3 blocks to orchestrate the offense and also spur the Hawaii defensive effort. The team that held UCI to a .253 hitting percentage and also just 38 kills in this game. What a performance from the Rainbow Warriors.
Hawaii wins this one 25-20 here in 4 sets. They dropped that first one and then won 3 straight sets in dominant fashion. The slow start was not enough to halter this team, and Hawaii now comes away victorious here on the national stage.
What a game. I mean, I'm lost for words. This crowd so into it throughout this entire tournament. Hawaii fans showed up and showed out for their team and really backed them every step of the way. Stadium right now is cladded with green in the stands. Hawaii fans on their feet as they get to revel in this moment with the national championship Rainbow Warrior squad.
What a game. Truly was quite an experience to be able to call this one. We want to thank you guys for listening and tuning in to watch Hawaii, the Rainbow Warriors, defeat the UCI Anteaters here in 4 sets to win their first national championship game. For Shane Donovan and Grant Walters, we want to thank you for tuning in. And make sure to tune in next year as well for more of our broadcasts here for the UCLA radio team.
We'll be doing some football in the fall. Be on the lookout for that. Starting with the Cal game, hopefully going to be doing some stuff at Berkeley to initiate the season, and then obviously all of the Rose Bowl games as well. So super excited to get into it.
And again, for Shane Donovan and Grant Walters, we'll see you guys soon. Goodbye. That was sick.